The Harrow House stands isolated at the end of an overgrown lane, a sagging monument to a forgotten lineage. Its once proud silhouette now cuts a broken profile against a sky the color of stagnant milk, slowly melting into the damp earth below. The title "Rot" looms above, rendered in an eroded, dissolved typeface that bleeds fungal tendrils into the oppressive air. The foundational bedrock of the Harrow House was engineered to endure the passage of centuries, yet the very earth beneath it has begun to turn traitorous, shifting with a slow, grinding malice. It started with a subtle, sickening groan beneath the floorboards that echoed through the long-abandoned foyer, vibrating through the bones of the architecture. "The ground is finally breathing beneath me," the house seemed to think, its ancient, creaking consciousness growing dim and fading into a state of vegetative confusion. Dark, nutrient-rich water, or perhaps something much thicker and more viscous, begins to seep steadily from the pores of the rotting, waterlogged wood. The house is no longer merely a structure of timber and nail. It is rapidly becoming a sprawling, subterranean feeding ground for an ancient and incredibly slow-moving hunger that knows no satiation. Order is nothing more than a fragile, fleeting illusion that the uncaring earth is currently dismantling piece by piece, layer by layer. There is no sudden, dramatic snap or violent crash to announce the inevitable end of this drafty, suffocating hallway. Instead, the timber simply loses its long-standing, stubborn argument against the relentless pull of gravity and begins a slow, inexorable descent into a pool of liquid sludge. I can feel my own complex history dissolving into absolutely nothingness. The house sighs in a muffled, internal monologue of profound, structural despair. The dark, putrid fluid collects steadily in the widening gaps between the warped floorboards, forming a vile, golden nectar of pure, unadulterated decay that coats everything it touches. The porch, once a dignified place for quiet evening tea and introspective observation, has become a massive, thriving petri dish for a nameless, spreading fungal blight. Every single plank that once held the weight of a loving family is now a soft, pulsing, and vibrant carpet of aggressive, encroaching fungi. They didn't just leave this place behind. They were entirely consumed by the endless weight. The house reflects, sensing the lingering, bitter echoes of those who once lived within these decaying walls. The insatiable rot is hungry for the fragile memories trapped deep in the dust and the faded, peeling wallpaper of the lower levels. It feeds greedily on the past, transforming the once sturdy structure into an absolute, heavy silence that defies the natural order of the world. The grand hallway acts as a constricted throat for the house, and now it is being slowly choked by a silver-blue, parasitic growth that moves with terrifying patience. Delicate, ethereal hyphae stretch hungrily across the wainscoting, feeling for the softest, most vulnerable weak points in the aging architecture. The air tastes exactly like damp earth and ancient, buried regret. The house thinks to itself, struggling to hold its original dignified shape against the crushing pressure. These glowing threads are the relentless memory eaters, probing the unseen cracks between our reality and total, irreversible decomposition. Nothing that is ever built by human hands can hope to withstand this patient, relentless, and suffocating hunger that seeks only to return everything to the soil. The faces of the inhabitants in the ornate, wall-mounted portrait are the first things to surrender their individual identity to the spreading, mottled stain. The thick oil paint bubbles and blooms, yielding gracefully to the encroaching spores that emerged from the wall directly behind the heavy, gilded frame. "We were somebody important and loved once," the painting seems to whisper, though the voice is now just a dry, rasping rattle of dead, decaying leaves. The rot does not care for human legacy or noble bloodlines, only for the raw carbon and minerals left behind by the living. The identity of the family is being overwritten by an illegible fungal script that no human mind can ever hope to decipher or reclaim. Time effectively stopped at the exact frozen moment the first spore took root deep in the delicate pendulum housing of the great-grandfather clock. The steady, rhythmic ticking that once anchored the entire household to the reality of the passing days has been replaced by the chaotic rhythm of fungal expansion. There is no more later to be found anywhere in this place, the house realizes, acknowledging the crushing finality of its own frozen, trapped stagnation. Gears that once measured human progress and daily routines are now fused together by strands of pale, fibrous, and incredibly strong mycelium. Every passing second is now just another layer of sediment accumulating in the dark, erasing the very concept of time itself. Thousands of words, once carefully curated and bound in leather, have become a singular, indigestible pulp of damp, ruined paper. The black ink bleeds freely from the pages, mixing with the pervasive moisture to create a dark, illegible ink wash that stains the rotting floorboards. Stories require readers to give them life and purpose, the house notes with a shudder, and the rot has no need for tales. The vast knowledge contained in these volumes is being reclaimed by the Earth's indifferent, cyclical recycling system that consumes all things. Soon, there will be absolutely no physical evidence that this room ever held a single sentence or a fleeting human thought. Climbing these once grand stairs is no longer possible, as they have become a steep, treacherous ramp for the growing shadow to ascend. The architecture is rapidly losing its rigid right angles, succumbing to the soft, unstable, and liquid nature of the creeping digestive blight. I am unmaking my own geometry and turning into a nightmare, the house observes, its internal structure failing to maintain even a basic, functional sense of form. The darkness underneath the wooden steps pulses with a life of its own, an organic, rhythmic heart beating in the cold void. Every step upward is now a descent into a hungry, yawning maw that waits for nothing but total collapse. The master bedroom mattress is now a soft, damp sarcophagus, cradling the pervasive rot that has successfully replaced the warmth of sleep. Sunlight desperately tries to pierce the grime-covered, thick windows, but it is instantly absorbed by the heavy fungal haze hanging in the stale air. Rest is just a longer, quieter, and more final form of decay, the house thinks, sensing the end of all internal human activity. The boundaries between the ceiling and the floor are blurring, turning the entire room into a single, suffocating space of decomposition. Here, the very memory of dreaming is being erased by the persistent, cold reality of consumption. The mirror no longer shows the reflection of the house, but the absolute, crushing darkness that waits for everything in the end. It serves only to show the viewer that the image they are looking for has already vanished into the void. Look at what remains of your pathetic reflection now, the rot suggests, its voice the sound of shifting, wet, and heavy soil. There is no self left to behold, only the pervasive mold that has learned to imitate the shape of human existence perfectly. The reflection is a cruel, mocking lie that the glass surface can no longer sustain under the oppressive weight of the blight. The kitchen table is set for a dinner that will never be served, now acting as a gruesome buffet for the encroaching, silent plague. The expensive silver is tarnished beyond recognition, and the fine porcelain is cracking under the immense pressure of expanding, invasive roots. We were so hungry for life, connection, and meaning, the house recalls, finding the irony bitter, hollow, and unbearable. Now the hunger has been flipped, and the environment itself is greedily consuming the imaginary, ghostly diners. The feast is over forever, and the table is being slowly pulled down into the yawning, hungry floorboards. The immense weight of the decay is dragging the entire, failing house toward the earth's cold, unforgiving, and dark embrace. It is a vertical, irreversible surrender, a final bowing of the head to the inevitable, crushing gravity of the soil. Down is the only direction left to travel in this existence. The house whispers, its voice fading into the rustle of dry, clicking hyphae. The darkness is filling the negative space, a visual weight dragging the reader's eye down to the very bottom of the page. The transformation from a proud, upright structure to a pile of wet sludge is nearly and terrifyingly complete. There is no house left anymore, just a mound of memory, nutrient-rich mud, and wet, decaying organic matter left in the clearing. The structure has finally fulfilled its long duty to the earth, returning its borrowed carbon to the vast, connected, and eternal cycle. I am finally a part of the world again, free from form, the house thinks, feeling the strange, terrifying freedom of total dissolution. The rot has won, and in doing so, it has granted the house a form of eternal, mindless, and quiet peace. The cycle of human history is officially closed, and the soil is smooth, dark, and completely undisturbed once more. The rot never truly stops. It only waits patiently for the next thing to fall and be forgotten. If you enjoyed this journey into the breakdown of all things, make sure to like and subscribe for more original horror stories. What will you let fall into the rot next? Leave your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Stay tuned for our next descent into the dark.